With a yo-ho-ho, it's Tale of the Toaster. Welcome back to Let's Play Inazuma 11 Go Chrono Stones, Thunderflash. In this episode, it's time for our second match against Protocol Omega. But this time, we have an unlikely ally in Mark Evans from 10 years ago, before he's even started the football club. We're doing this to save his club and his future, and the future of all of football. Let's do it. Right, let's play football. And of course, Mark is already at the bottom of the list. We'll just hit B. Yeah, much as I like Big Z and his move, Breathtaker, or in Japanese, Excellente Breast, he has to go and be replaced by Mark. I could even try and put him on the pitch if I want to, but he's not got Fract or Repeller, so it wouldn't be a very good choice. Wonderbot's going to be our coach for this, but he doesn't give us any benefits in any regard as a coach, unlike most of the other coaches in the Inazuma 11 series. Thanks. Dude, this isn't the kitchen. Where are all my utensils? This isn't even the beach. What's all this bogus grass doing here? If you would be so kind. Sure, future bros. I'll help you out. Okay, let's play football. Yeah. So of course they're level 2, whereas we are level 4, having involuntarily done a couple of random encounters. I was supposed to have a look at Mark's stats there, but nevertheless, these are all the same guys as before, but they are a lot higher in level now. I think they had these moves anyway before, but they certainly have it now, if not, including this guy's shooting move, Stomper Stopper. Or as we saw it in the match, it was called, you know, Goalkeeping Command 01 or whatever. If you were to look at these guys' moves in their bios, then Shoot Command 01 actually becomes Spinmeister, and you get to learn the real names of these moves. It's a real pity you don't just get to see those names in the match anyway, but hello, and also hello Argos, we haven't met you yet. more to the actual point. We're in the Football Frontier Stadium from 10 years ago, at night as well, just to add a bit of aesthetic. Time to hang loose, dudes! The Protocol Omega vs Sherwind's match is about to start. This time broadcasting to you direct from the Football Frontier Stadium, wherever that is. Well, it looks beautiful, and it's where Raimon took on Zeus back in the day. Commencing operations. No, they're making mincemeat of my duplies.
This isn't right. This isn't what football's supposed to be. Yeah.
Evans, you don't yet comprehend the terrible power that you wield.
Oh yeah? Well, maybe we'll find out soon. That's not real football you're playing. The ball's not there to inflict injuries.
That's right, you're making football sad.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. It's Arion, right?
That's right. Alpha, using the ball in that way will make football cry. Soon football's tears will cease, as it will be extinguished, and you, Mark Evans, will be extinguished along with it. Now initiating the interrupt routine for Mark Evans.
Okay, bring it on. And this is an introduction to something new that we've not seen in story sections of the game. Some characters will be in full power mode, and it means exactly what you'd think. If they have possession of the ball, you cannot take it from them, and if they are going for a goal, then you cannot stop them from scoring either. So don't bother trying to waste your TP on special moves because they won't work. Just let him advance the story with Spin Meister, as we know it's to actually be called, but Shoot Command 01 as the game wants to call it.
I'm gonna stop it. If I don't stop this, we'll lose. And football will be wiped out.
He did it! He used God Hand! How? Really? He used that here?
A parallel world resonance phenomenon!
I saved it! I did it! I really did it!
It's a space-time resonance phenomenon. There are multiple Mark Evanses coming from all the existing parallel worlds. They're concentrating all their powers in one place to try and stop us. Be careful. This Mark Evans does not conform to our data. Roger that.
And we can already use God Hand. And then what was the first time we've ever seen voice acting over a CG move? Which was very nice to see. It's much like Inazuma 11 Strikers. That wasn't a very big role on his part, but nevertheless, we've got another Fill the Advance gauge, which, once again, I'll say it every single time, I like Fill the Advance gauge so much more than the Inazuma 11 Go approach of cross the dotted line with the football or get player into the circle. And that's not to say that those don't exist in Chrono Stones, but as a filler task, these are a lot better. But we haven't even started to advance the gauge yet, because we haven't been able to regain possession of the ball. So if I could do that first, please, then we'll carry on. And already just taking the ball advanced things a whole lot. Passing is the quickest way to advance things other than using your special moves, but generally using a special move in a scenario like this could be considered a little wasteful. We can also see that the goalkeeper is currently full power, which stops you from scoring goals in scenarios like this, which would mess up the story. So he is absolutely unstoppable in his quest to take the ball, stop the ball from going in the goal. And in fact, it's not even worth it to take shots on the goalkeeper because we have to be in possession of the ball to finish the advance gauge, and we currently are not because we gave it away to the goalkeeper guaranteed. But now we've done it, so we'll carry on.
Alpha, on your command.
Tactical play, AX3.
So that was the special tactic that the coach Argos gives extra power to. Not that that was ever going to not work anyway. Alpha's just going to run to the goal again, but at least we've got God Hand.
It's coming. I'll stop this one too.
Primo, save a little dude! Evans summoned up a fighting spirit to pull off a rad catch! The Sherwinds are hot dogging this match! What was that? It's your fighting spirit, Mark? Fighting spirit?
This is the effect of space-time. It's allowed us to progress at a highly accelerated pace.
How superb! How stupendous! Simply out of this world! Oh, I can barely contain myself!
Why have you turned pink?
Oh, it's just the old excitement gauge. It fills up from time to time. Nothing at all to be concerned about.
How's about that, Alpha? You're never going to be able to get me to hate football. We've got to make sure Mark creates the football club. We can't lose this match. The future of football rests on Raimon Football Club.
And margin is now Mark's fighting spirit. You know, I could have sworn he didn't have that in the original trilogy, which just serves as a ever so slight inconsistency that we kind of have to accept going forwards. If we win this match, then yeah, we can save football for the benefit of Mark's timeline, but is it not a bit of a problem that he's got a fighting spirit now? The whole reason I loved the first 3 Inazuma 11 games so much was because it was just core football without stagnant fighting spirit gameplay that plagued Inazuma 11 Go 1, and then not so much here because there's so many other gimmicks to counteract it. But I don't know if I want the original trilogy to start having fighting spirits in it. This could be a slight problem, but we put it to the back of our minds for now and concentrate on winning, because Mark having a fighting spirit in the original trilogy is certainly not as bad as football being erased entirely. Makes you wonder how these guys were even able to erase football from Mark's timeline in the first place. Like, fair enough, he didn't have us guys to come and wipe out. Well, he didn't have us to defend him and stop these guys from beating him up with football. But like, what did they actually do to fully change the course of time? Did they just disable Mark? I'm fairly sure no matter how big of a beating he took from these guys, it wouldn't actually stop him from playing football out of pure passion alone. We're going to try Headbanger, but I don't really think we have what it takes to get past this guy. He's not full power or anything. It is possible to score against him. And with, well, yeah, he's deflecting regular shot. He's deflecting special moves with regular punches. That goes to show that the first half is a little too troubling for us right now.
Hey, are you okay? It must be hard to keep control over all those duplies.
Maybe a little.
Hey!
Huh?
How about letting me play?
Victor? Victor! You came! Huh? You're not Victor?
No, I'm not Victor, but you weren't far off. I'm his older brother, Vladimir Blade.
Arion, right?
Vladimir, but you can walk.
I'll explain later. First, we've got an enemy to fight.
Oh, okay. I'm so happy I get the chance to play football with you.
As am I with you. Plus, I'm eager to play alongside the great Mark Evans.
Me too.
What an all-star lineup. We've only got 4 team members, but they include Arion, Sherwind, Fei, Vladimir Blade, and Mark Evans from 10 years ago. Who's this then?
Vladimir Blade, another powerful ally from a parallel world. Identity of male target confirmed. He's an error yielded by the Victor Blade interrupt. You mean he's from a new timeline we brought into existence?
If he's an error, then let's correct him.
Well, we'll expose him to that by putting him on the pitch first of all. He is a forward, and as you can see, he's got some very good shooting moves and even a fighting spirit. So we absolutely want to have him up front, and Arion can move into the midfielding position that he's actually meant to use, hence the NF icon at the top right. The Sherwinds have been joined by Vladimir Blade for the second half. I'm totally stoked to see how this turns out, and you should be too. But how good is he? Well, we'll try him in practice. And of course, Mark's still got his fighting spirit, so no worries about them scoring against us. Mark's actual fighting spirit is margin. It's not quite the same margin from his original very good special move, Margin the Hand, but it's clearly based upon it, and it's a very clever way to give Mark a fighting spirit, because Of course it would be related to Margin. He was basically summoning a fighting spirit this entire time in the first 3 games. His special moves have always kind of looked like a fighting spirit. They just haven't actually been, because fighting spirits didn't exist back then. Unfortunately, I don't have enough TP to take a shot. And fair enough, I don't feel like it... Alright, we scored without it. I take it back. Great to hear Mark's voice in that as well. A real shame I didn't get to show off entropic arrows instead, because I didn't have enough special move gauge, but hey ho, we've got the goal and we haven't even finished advancing the gauge yet. So we've just got an extra goal in time where we didn't even have to. The match continues, but we're up 1 goal on them now. This is looking positive.
You will be corrected. I think not.
Great, Vladimir really knows how to play.
It's fighting spirit time. We need to finish this in one fell swoop. With me.
Okay. Vladimir can armorify his fighting spirit.
You can do it too, Arion. Give it a try.
What? Really? But how?
Well, let's find out. Touch the spirit icon, and of course we bring out Arch Pegasus like we're used to.
I can do that too. I can armorify. Here goes! Heavenly Horse Arch Pegasus armorify! Wow! I really did it! I armorified my fighting spirit! How did they manage that? Great! How does it feel? Power's welling up inside me. I feel like I could do almost anything.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Well, you wait for 1 bus and 2 come at once. We can now use the armorified version of Arch Pegasus, which is much nicer to look at and really changes fighting spirit gameplay for the better. I was never a fan of fighting spirits from Go 1, but I do like armorified fighting spirits, because as you saw, I just used Easy Breezy, and now I'm using Zephyr Shot. You have access to all of your regular moves while using an armorified fighting spirit, and you don't lose any TP for it, and it still boasts the power of a fighting spirit shot. So all of the stagnant gameplay that I complained about in the last game, where it's just the same animations over and over again, are gone. Because we can now use whatever special move we like with no consequence.
So this is armorifying. Amazing.
You really did it, Arion. That was great.
And of course, I don't want to leave our friend Vladimir Blade in the dust, so let's see what his armorified fighting spirit can do. I should be able to use entropic arrows this time, because now it costs us no TP to use whatsoever, and we are going to absolutely wipe the floor with Protocol Omega with the way this works. I'm using Flurry Dash when I don't even have to. Just barging past them would be plenty good enough. But it's just fun to see. Like, again, as a demonstration, we can very easily just charge. We can also turn an armorified fighting spirit back into a regular one. In fact, let's give that a try. No, it doesn't give us the option right now. So that would normally be available in gameplay, but we can't unarmorify him here. But we can use the armorified entropic arrows, which is kind of weird. A football shouldn't be able to do that, but that's something Vladimir Blade can do. And this guy stands no chance against it whatsoever. I'm surprised he didn't get stunned. Fantastic to hear Mark again. I guess he might be our captain.
Go! Vladimir Blade's armorified fighting spirit has totally shaken up that goalie's world. He really is a powerful individual.
Goodness, this match is heating up. Somebody turn on the air conditioning. Woo! But we won't be armorifying Mark's fighting spirit. That will stay as it is for the foreseeable But, you know, I don't think he really needs it exactly. I'm not letting these guys get anywhere near me for a shot attempt. For the rest of the match, we're in regular play, and just through movement speed alone of these things, I'm blasting past these guys. And we're gonna go... No, we've just run out of FSP, actually, so I can't go for another Entropic Arrows, but I was nearly able to, which goes to show that these things are still hella broken. Oh, now we can. I guess he got healed at some point. Well, I'm not complaining. We'll take that. Like, obviously, Armorified Fighting Spirit still completely overpower anything that's not Fighting Spirit or a mix and match player. So it's still broken, you could say, but it's fun now because it's varied. I like just using Fighting Spirits to use the moves that I'm familiar with. And not only that, it's fantastic for leveling them up. Like, I'm going to use Hyper Swiper again, not because I need to. I could very easily just sliding tackle the ball off them anyway. But Hyper Swiper, the more you use it, or any other special move, the more that move will level up and become better. So you might as well use a move while it takes no TP at all, and use it to level up that move. Hyper Swiper is usually one of the very first moves to max out in this game. It's saying our heartbeat failed there because just like you can get critical hits which are really strong, you can also get uncritical hits which fail, but they don't completely fail, they're just lower in power. You can still get past something with a failed move, but, you know, it's still not as good as it would have been, and we're quite fortunate that we were still able to get past. I'm fairly sure Easy Breezy wouldn't have managed it. But Vladimir and Arion are naturally out of energy, so we'd have to rely on Fei if we wanted to get any more goals. But you know what? I think we're good, to be honest. We can even, bring out, like, we can mix and match. I might as well do it as well. Just in case you need any more help in this match, we could mix and match Fei as well. Which, like I say, is comparable to the power of a Fighting Spirit or an Armorified Fighting Spirit. Not as strong, but considering you can stack them anyway, it doesn't need to be. You can have two at once, which is absolutely crazy. And we will not be able to do two at once right yet, but we will still go for Jurassic Jaws while we have the opportunity. I admit, I really, really like Bouncing Bunny, and I'm not that big on Jurassic Jaws, but Bouncing Bunny will get its time. Let's use Jurassic Jaws while it's available to us. We've beaten these guys 5-0, so I think it's fairly safe to say we've probably saved football in this timeline. Apart from the fact Mark is way too good considering he hasn't even taken on Royal Academy yet. Like, the whole point of the story getting started was that Mark gets bodied by Royal Academy immediately, but he learns God Hand in the process, and that was his big development, and now he's kind of already done that before he's even got a football club. But don't worry about it, that's not something we have to dwell on in this story, it's just something in the background to think about.
We lost. How can that be?
That's it, we've done it. Are we going to level up? We can't level up Vladimir, but we can level up Mark. I'm not sure why that is.
Alpha, this is unseemly.
Sir, your orders?
Withdraw.
Roger.
What? What's going on?
We're abandoning the match.
Ha-ha! We did it! Mark's going to be able to create the football club. We preserved the timeline, Arion. That means we won! We did it! What a day! We've got Vladimir to thank for all this. Yeah, but before we celebrate, I'd like to hear his story.
That we will. By the way, it's fantastic that we've actually got Mark's old voice actress back for this. Like, I was so surprised to hear that when I first played Chrono Stones, and I don't know why it's surprising. You know, she did the job on the first 3 Inazuma 11 games. There's no reason why she'd say no to the 5th, especially when it's such a fleeting role, but she wasn't there in the last game, so it's great to hear it again. I will once again be bringing out the inner link, because you can even speak to Marina. Gammon, I'm opening the shop. If you're in the loo, then get a move on. We've got work to do. Right, let's open this, baby. Gonna be an amazing day. Oh, wait, did you already get here first, babe? Man, I love every single one of these. They don't even have to be football players. But that's beside the point. Let's speak to Vladimir. Thank you, Vladimir.
Arion, please let me join you. I want to help.
You do that?
For Victor's sake.
Victor's?
Arion, I'm different from the Vladimir you know. In your world, I was injured age 12 when Victor was just 7 years old. I couldn't play football anymore, right?
That's right.
In my world, that accident never happened.
Huh?
This meant that both Victor and I could continue playing football. We both got quite decent at it and started talking about going to a football academy somewhere abroad.
An academy? Wow!
But then...
I'm so proud of our boys getting into the football academy. Do you think we'll be able to send them both?
I'm sorry, Dorogeya, but I don't think we can afford to. With the expenses, we only have enough to send one of them.
That's what I was afraid you'd say.
I wish we could, I really do. They're both incredibly talented. Who knows, maybe they'll both go on to become world-class players anyway. I won't go!
Huh?
Let Vitya go. It will be a great opportunity for him.
You heard all that. Nuh-uh, Volodya. You go. You deserve it.
No more than you.
No, really. Forget about me. I'm getting tired of football anyway.
But Vitya...
Victor said that.
Of course, he didn't really feel that way. But all the same, he threw out all his footballing gear and never kicked a football again. He did it all for me. In the end, I went abroad thanks to his sacrifice.
I see. But this was all Eldorado's ploy to steal football from Victor because he's part of Raimon Football Club, right?
It was. And once I became successful, they appeared to me too. They came to steal football from me too.
They attacked you too?
Your fame would have a large effect on the football-loving youth in your world. That's why they put you in their crosshairs.
Yes, but then someone sent me information about how to manipulate space-time, and so, here I am. They didn't mention who they were. There was just a note saying they wanted to help those who love football.
Strange.
Not only that, whoever was responsible also sent me this time band. This is how I can travel through time.
I don't really get all this, but I can see you're fighting those guys to protect football. That's right. Well then, I'll fight them too.
Mark, don't you have a football club to create? Wouldn't that be the best way for you to protect football?
Yes, she's right. If you create the football club at Raimon, it'll make football really happy. You're a funny kid, aren't you?
Okay, boys, keep a stiff upper lip for now. Time to return to the present.
Oh, I've got to go now. Oh, already? Yeah. For Vladimir's sake, we need to check whether the crisis in Mark's time has been fully resolved and see if the present is back to normal. Right. Arion? Yes? I'm gonna create Raimon Football Club. Don't you worry. I'll do everything I can to protect football too. And if we get the chance to meet again, let's play football!
Oh, what a nice little solution. Well, Mark, we will meet again. in the present day especially, but we won't be meeting your younger self again. But pleased to know you'll still be setting up the football club, even though we've kind of wrecked the timeline by giving you a fighting spirit. But just don't think about it. In the next episode, we'll be travelling back through time again under Vladimir's instruction to see what we can do to help Victor. See you then.